Something smells good. I wonder what Lynn's cooking today.
Hey, Lynn, what's cooking?
Now here's your host, Lynn Austin.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to my show. Today, we're heading into the new year. It's celebrating a new year, New Year's Eve celebration. But I wanted to share with you guys, since I'm pleasantly Polish, our pierogis that we make for the holiday season.
Indeed. We've been making them for a couple of years now.
Yes.
And we're not quite pros yet, but we're getting close.
We are getting close. And this is my friend Steve.
Hello.
So say hello. And we have actually bought the pierogis in years past, but back in Chicago, where I'm from, and we decided that since the place that we bought them from closed up, well, I decided I was going to make them, right?
And they're easy to make.
And, oh my gosh, they are so easy to make. And a pierogi, if you don't know what a pierogi is, it is basically like a ravioli, correct?
Oh, yeah.
You fill
kind
it?
of a crescent shape.
Yes,
ravioli.
you make them in a different shape other than a ravioli. It's very good.
Oh, thank you.
Description,
You know,
Stephen. Okay, so we're going to get started. We make two kinds, and you can make all different kinds. There's plum, there's sauerkraut, there is cheese, but we like the regular potato, and cabbage.
And
the cabbage. So what I have already made the filling for the potatoes, and all that is just your regular mashed potato mix, and it has salt and pepper. And I'm sorry, I got a little bit of a giggle because I'm so excited about making these pierogies.
It's awesome. It's always fun.
Salt and pepper in half and half, but you don't want to make the potatoes too runny. You don't want a runny mixture. It has to be on the thick side.
Right.
So we already have that made. And you know what? What really works is making the fillings like you can do it a couple days in advance. The fillings are done already, and you can also make the dough. But I'm going to show you how to make the dough. But before I do that, I'm going to make our cabbage mixture and get that sauteed in the pan with the melted butter. And what we have here is cabbage that I've shredded. And you can buy shredded cabbage if you want to, if you don't have the time.
Well, that's what I would do.
Yes, and onion. There is a medium-sized onion in here. And we're going to have that sauteing in there.
Is that a Vidalia onion or what?
It's a sweet onion. I have a sweet onion in there. So that's going to get going because we're going to stuff some of our pierogis with that. And while we are getting ready to make the dough, I also have the water boiling that you're going to boil the pierogis in when you're done stuffing them. So that's going there with a little bit of salt in that. Let me kick that up a little bit here. Okay, that's going over here. And Stephen, we're going to get that dough going.
All right.
We're going to get rolling in the dough. But you know what? First,
yes.
Let's have a little toast here.
All righty. Start off the show with a little Happy New Year toast.
Happy New Year toast.
Happy 2013.
Wow. That's crazy, isn't it?
It is. Hard to believe.
I remember when that Prince song was coming out and we were going to party like it's 1999, and that's crazy.
Here we are.
2013.
Unbelievable.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Lynn.
Okay, now I'm ready to make pierogis.
Okay.
Okay. In this dough, it is so simple. We're going to put 3 cups of flour into the mixer. This way. And I have my dough hook on there already.
I never heard that expression, dough hook.
Dough hook? That's your dough hook that makes, we have these mixers, it's awesome. And if you don't have a mixer, you can put it in the bowl like my grandma used to do and just use your hands. And she would always say she was working her arm muscles when she would knead the dough. So I always thought that was great. And 2 tablespoons of butter that has been melted into a cup with 2/3 cups of milk. Okay, and that's cooled off. You don't want it hot. You want this cooled off but melted. So that's going to go in here. That over here. And 2 eggs. And you might have to add...
You're just a pro at that.
Oh, you might have to add a couple... maybe not a couple, but a half a cup of flour so it's not all sticky. You don't want the dough too sticky. Get in there. And to that, we're going to add about a teaspoon of salt. Okay. That in there. And then we're going to get this cranking. Let me just set this here for a moment.
Oh, okay, I'll set this. Are we done with this?
Not yet,
okay.
because I have to kind of play around with it for a second. This is going to go, it's going to be kind of loud. Sorry about this, but it'll take just a couple seconds. And while this is mixing, I am going to check on our cabbage. And oh my gosh, it is smelling so good.
How long does that normally take to cook?
The cabbage, it could take about 5 minutes.
Oh.
You're just sauteing it with the onion and getting it cooked down here.
Oh, that's looking good. It's starting to brown up a little bit.
You know, I'm going to add a little bit of salt into that. And that dough is starting to form. My grandma would have loved that. Okay. That going. And our water's boiling already, so we can get those pierogis in there. The done ones. Now, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to check on our dough. And I think I'm going to need that flour, Steve.
Okay.
Because we're going to need it. It's kind of sticky. There we go.
Well, it kind of shoots out the top, doesn't it?
Well, I had it on a little fast because I was kind of rushing the process. But you got to talk to your dough. Your dough likes to be talked to because, you know, I find out if I talk to my dough, it's happy. You got to get it just right. So
that's excellent.
I know. You're like, wow, Lynn, you talk to your dough.
What do you say to it?
I say, dough, you're doing a good job. Don't you know? Sorry, I was really bad. Don't you know? Okay, I'm gonna kick this up a little bit. Okay, Stephen, I'm gonna finish this. What are you doing over there? You're covering your ears.
My eyes.
Your eyes. I am actually going to take this and kind of speed along the process here. I'm going to take this and put this on the board, and I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way here and knead it. It needs to be kneaded.
And that stuff's harder to roll out.
Everybody needs to be kneaded, Stephen.
And that stuff's harder to roll out than you would think, too. Because remember, I just recently rolled dough for the first time, and I couldn't believe the way it wanted to go back to its original form. It seemed to be.
It's good. It's fun. It's all good. Get that all in there. I have been making dough since I was a little kid with my grandma, so I love to get my hands in there and just mess around with it. It's fun. Move that glass off of there because we don't want that flying. Let's get it all in there together till it's nice and smooth. And so I am the roller and Stephen is the filler, correct?
Yep, that's right.
So we have a pretty good routine going on. And then we're going to boil them today, but on Christmas Eve, we like to just take it a little bit further and not so healthy, but good. We actually fry them on Christmas Eve in butter. And they have to be in butter. That is our treat. That has been a tradition in my family since I was a kid. So
1940s.
You're funny.
Not really. No, we're talking the late 80s, early 90s.
Yes, exactly. That is it. That is it. Okay, so we have it. It's in a nice ball of dough. All set to go, and we're gonna get rolling.
Oh, there we go. The puns.
Let me just take care of it. I love little jokes. Put that aside. Stephen, can you check and stir the cabbage?
Absolutely.
Gonna get that going here. La, la, la. Put a little bit more flour on my rolling pin here, and we're gonna roll it to about, I'd say, 1/2 inch thick. Because you don't want them too thick, so they'll be too doughy.
Do you ever have to add more oil or anything to this while it's cooking? Or
No,
is that
why
usually...
is it getting kind of...
Oh, no, it's doing fine.
Oh, gosh, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Just curious.
No, you don't have... You're starting off with 2 sticks of butter, so it's plenty there, Stephen.
All righty.
Plenty, plenty.
You know, with Thanksgiving type leftover stuff too.
Oh, heck, if you had leftover potatoes.
Thanksgiving 2013, people could use the turkey and dressing, a little bit of shredded turkey and
he
some
was
dressing.
talking about that, making a
think
Thanksgiving pierogi.
Absolutely.
Like putting it all together. I think that would be awesome. That is a very good idea. That's what you can do with your leftovers.
Sweet potato casserole, a little spoonful.
Ooh, sweet potato casserole pierogi.
Maybe with a small marshmallow in it too to melt that up.
Well, I don't know about the marshmallow.
Why wouldn't that cook?
I don't know.
What's wrong with the marshmallow?
Let's keep it with the sweet potato pierogi. I like the sound of that. Get creative, people. Get creative with your pierogis.
Pizza pierogis.
Pizza pierogis. Get the kids. The kids love to make these. Actually, my daughter was helping me the other day with her girlfriend. We were making a batch of them, and they liked to do that, so they had fun. They were having a good time. Good time. Okay.
You make it look so easy
to
roll it out.
I love, in the kitchen, I love rolling dough. Listening to Christmas music. We usually drink wine, or today we're having champagne, and have a good time and just talk about things and just have a good time. It's fun. It's a bonding time, don't you think?
Yes, it is.
Super fun. We look forward to that.
We have a good time. It's always fun.
It's always a lot of fun.
Always fun.
And he's not pretending. I didn't ask him to say that. Really?
No, it's legitimate. We always have a very good time.
Yes, we do. Okay. And now what we're going to do is take a glass. Not so big. And you're going to cut a circle into the dough. And then I kind of spread it out a little bit. And then I give it to Steve, and he's going to take over. See?
Here we go.
There we go.
And I'm going to take a little bit of mashed potatoes.
It smells
that's
so
what we have right here. Mashed potato. But of course, you can have a lot of other...
But you don't want to put about maybe, what, a half a teaspoon?
Yeah, you probably want to put a little less in there than what I did initially, because I always try to overstuff them.
Yeah, but and I tell them, because you got to pinch it around the filling, because you don't want the filling, because you're going to boil them, so you don't want the filling to come out.
I can kind of compact things and then stretch the dough around it, and sort of pinch things like that.
And I think this is a good comfort food too. So for those winter months, when it's cold outside and you're snowed in, and
so here's the way a pierogi looks.
What else do you have?
Kind
to
of a half moon sort of thing, and then you take a sticker or whatever and poke a hole in it
because you're going to boil it.
So that way it'll vent rather than blow up.
There we go.
Yes. Okay. Using a little bit less potato on this one, that makes the pinching it together easier.
And you know, I did make these a few times with my girlfriend Elisa when we were growing up, and they would make, I would say, close to 1,000 pierogies, and we would go, and I remember just one day we'd make the fillings and just the heads of cabbage her mom would have and the sacks of potatoes. It was just incredible. It was just a sight to see, but we had fun. It was a lot of fun.
So was it like a 2 or a 3 day project then?
Yeah, it did, because there was a lot of them that we made. There was a lot. There we go. See how easy? And you can get creative with these pierogies.
And she always gets way ahead of me on the dough, so.
You know what? I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. I'm gonna go check on the cabbage. So there's no pressure on you.
That's
and I'll have
awesome
a sip of champagne while you're doing that.
Take a couple of sips. While I'm catching
please don't twist my arm. I can do that. I love champagne. It's yummy. Okay. Oh, this cabbage and onion mixture is doing great. Heck, I'm even going to lower it a little bit, Stephen.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that smells so
good. It does smell very good. It smells very good.
Oh, the butter in there. And I do use regular butter in the mixture because I just think that adds a different flavor. So, can I roll a little bit more?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, you know what? I just had a funny thought. If we're doing pierogis, it's Polish. You sing "Roll Out the Barrel."
All I know is the roll out the barrel.
We'll have a barrel of fun. See how much fun you can have in the kitchen.
Oh, is that all you know it too? Just the title, okay.
I'm just thinking of the words of that.
And sometimes these can be a little stubborn at sticking together. I don't know if it's because the dough gets a little dry or something. Is that what would cause it?
You know
like
what?
this
you
one's
can
just
have
a little
thing of water. You want a little dish of water, and so you can wet your fingers, and that'll work. You want to do that?
Yeah, we could do that. Or sometimes you can even just kind of roll them back like that on themselves and sort of close
there
it.
There we go. That
Look
works.
at that.
That works.
And not forgetting to use the
And this is one batch, and this would make, I would say, a couple dozen, a little over a couple dozen or more, maybe about maybe 3 or 4 dozen. So what we usually, gosh, we make...
Oh, we make close to 100, don't
100 or more pierogis, I would say.
Yep.
And it's good, and you can freeze them too. So they're good to have. You can make a big batch of them and have a couple friends over and
eat them.
Oh, you know what? Let me get some of those boiling, so the potatoes would be done.
Oh, there we go.
Now these all have holes in them, correct?
They all have.
I always
they
make
all
sure he
have,
has, and then I check his
they've all been
seams.
poked.
That doesn't right. I said I checked his seams. You shouldn't check your seams.
No, well, there's one that's a little questionable.
These are going to go. See how much fun we have in the kitchen. These are going to go into boiling water till they float on top like a ravioli. When you're putting a ravioli into a pot of boiling water, they're going to float, believe it or not, even with the filling in them.
Isn't that the way a lot of stuff is? Like when you cook it, it sinks to start out with.
Are you going to get
done.
scientific on me? Because
no, because I have some friends that make catfish.
Oh, okay.
And they like boil them.
Do they boil it?
Or deep fry them.
Oh, and it comes up, it pops up in the, okay.
And they throw them in the, whatever you call it, the deep fryer.
I'm thinking it has to do, because I'm saying I don't really know it, but I'm thinking it has to do with the, how hot the water is, correct?
I don't know. No, it doesn't.
Oh,
I'm
no, okay.
It
I could be wrong, and maybe somebody could tell me that at some point why it boils to the top, or I can maybe ask my kids, because it's been a while since I've had science, so.
You have a friend in Chicago that's a chef that would probably know the answer.
You know,
to that.
I would bet that would be, that he would know, and you know what, I think we need to have him come by. Do you think he's nearby?
I would hope so. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. I wonder if Dana can answer my question of why the pierogis boil to the top.
Well, I don't know if he could answer that or not. There's only one way of finding that out.
Hey, it's Dana. Dana, why do the pierogis boil to the top?
It's the flour mixture that you're bringing in and the lightness of it. And the water's heavier, so it rises it to the top.
So it has to do with the boiling temperature, too. Okay, see, I was right.
So does that apply to...
It doesn't... If the water's still boiling and say you use like a whole grain type thing, it's not going to rise as much. It will just kind of, but the flour and everything makes it rise the most.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. I gotcha.
Now, how about with the
Can you pass me that
catfish?
flour?
Sure.
How about with the catfish then, Dana?
Why with the catfish?
Why would the catfish?
Yeah, they start out sinking like when they're...
But you're using oil, so it's a different...
Yeah.
Anything that you put in oil is always going to rise, usually, unless it's, you've got a lot of different things that are already on top of it in the bottom. But anything that you put in the oil right away is going to, just because of the oil. It has nothing to do with anything else. It just rises it. But like if you want to do like French fries or, whatever, chicken nuggets, whatever you want to make, if you put a whole bunch in there, of course there's going to be some at the bottom just because you've got so many in there. But if you just put like 1 or 2 things, that they will all rise because the oil heats at a different temperature than the water.
Okay. Interesting.
Wow. I think that is great. He's just so smart. He's like just a fountain of information. I was trying to get creative there, and I'm rolling my dough and trying to think. Okay, trying to think.
And since he came all the way from Chicago to answer that question, I think he should stay on the show here.
You know, he's going to taste our pierogis here. You know what? Can you go see if those are ready? The ones that are floating to the top, are they floating?
Sure, let's take a look.
Actually, you know, pierogis are real big back where we're from in Chicago.
Yes.
There's a small little town just on the east side. It's actually in Indiana.
Whiting, Indiana.
Whiting, Indiana. It's on Lake Michigan, and they have one of the biggest pierogi fest.
You like that music? I just have music that's feeding in there. It's great. It's like my stove. It's like one of those stoves. You use it and the music comes on. It's great.
This pierogi fest is huge. It's a huge parade.
It is awesome. If you like pierogis, you have to go to Whiting, Indiana in July.
August, July,
towards the end of July, and they have every type of pierogi served, boiled or fried.
Good music,
parade. We love the parade because they even throw out cans of beer. And let me tell you, now I'm going to get these done for Stephen. It is a fun event.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm giving this city of Whiting, Indiana a plug today because it is a fun thing to do. So you can Google it, and they'll have the exact date, and it's a lot of fun.
Come out in the traditional,
Polish outfits, and there's Polish pastries. There's if you love Polish food, that is the place to be. Let me tell you.
You know, around the country. I mean, it's a big, huge event. I mean, it's not a local event anymore.
It's gotten huge. It has gotten huge. I am going to, Stephen, are you almost done getting those out of there?
Yes, they're all floating.
I am going to bring out the cabbage that's been sauteed with the onions. And we're going to have Steve start with the, see, look at those
there
potatoes.
They're done.
Look at that. And you could start, I'm going to get the cabbage for you, and you can start with the cabbage.
Alrighty. I'll set the potato aside.
And you do have to allow for some time to do this. You know, block off an afternoon or an evening and get a move in there. Okay, this dough I'm going to leave off to the side for a second. I'm just going to use this over here. Okay, so look at that. Oh my gosh, doesn't that smell good? That smells yummy, and those are going to go into the pot. I'm going to give you some more dough there, Steve.
Alrighty.
Like I said, you could make all different kinds because they even have blueberry, they have plum, they have apple. There are all kinds, and I probably just got flour on my face because I'm really good with that. I have it all over the place. There we go. It's just, I'm really working in the kitchen. Oh, this is great. I got Steve, I got Dana in the kitchen. This is awesome.
This is great.
And Dana's being nice, and he's being quiet.
Well, Dana's always a nice guy. I've not known him to be anything but that.
Oh, really? And I just laughed. That's funny. That's funny there. Like I said, you can get the dough ahead of time done. You can get your fillings done. So you're not like, oh my gosh, we got pierogies to make and we got all these things to do. So it's done ahead of time, and you just start assembling them.
It's a shame, like I said, there's a store back home in Chicago.
It was Como's.
It was named Como's, and they just were known.
But do you know who would make those pierogies? Little Polish lady in Chicago would come and deliver her pierogies to the south side of Chicago. They were at a store, but the store closed up.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean,
well, it was a little store, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was a family-owned business, and it was silent times, but it was just they did so well. I mean, people knew,
Oh yeah.
They wanted fresh pierogies, where to go. I mean.
But now you have a recipe, and you can do your own.
We can knock out 100 or so in just a couple hours.
Yeah.
Too. With your pierogies, you can, depending on how much, how many people, guests you have or whatever, you can actually you know, some people might like a certain kind, and you know, you can all have fun. Okay, let's make, you know, the cabbage. Let's make the potato. Let's.
Oh, hey, you can even have them. You can have a pierogi night, and just like a taco bar, you can do a pierogi bar. Because it only takes a few minutes.
Yeah, just set out all kinds of ingredients and let people choose.
Make a dessert pierogi, and you're gonna have the whole night done.
And also, you can serve these. Now, I don't put it on mine, but you can serve them with sour cream. Some people like, and then you can add extra melted butter on top, or you could just leave them boiled like that, or like I said, on Christmas Eve, we fry them in the butter, and it is a treat. So, Stephen, why don't you finish up those, and then I am going to do a New Year's toast, and I'm going to have Dana sample. Dana, you want to, it's a hot pierogi. You want to try one? Sure. It's going to be really, really, just use your finger. We've been using our fingers. It's very hot. Just kind of shusha. Shusha means blow on it in Polish. Just in case anybody, shusha. Shusha. Shusha means blow.
Very good. Very good.
And the dough good? It's light, it's not heavy, and I'm going to set this aside, and I am going to pour Dana a glass of champagne, and we are going to toast into the new year. We have some going, right?
Yes, we do. We've got a few of them in there, and I'm going to throw a couple more in here.
Alrighty. Here we go, Dana. Stephen, I will top you off here.
Okay.
You're going to, of course, I need a refill. Imagine that. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I am bubbling over.
Joy.
The joy. I know. I give you so much joy, Dana, don't I?
Overload.
Overload of joy. Okay, we'll wait for Stephen there. I want you to leave that. And
I think I will. Yes.
Pick up your glass. And let's toast to, once again, having great friends in the kitchen and wonderful times, and have lots of fun and laughter and a good health for the new year and happiness for the new year, and just have fun in the kitchen with your family and friends. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy 2013.